Good morning, good morning. We had a little technical difficulty this morning getting started. My phone was stuck in portrait mode and I couldn't fix it, but we just did. So we're only a few minutes late. Good morning, welcome to the Daddykirbs live show with my friend and moderator Kate here on site. I have other moderators all helping to keep this show family friendly and keeping you guys, me, in line. So this is going to be a different kind of live show in the sense that I'm going to be responding to comments. Now, in just a few minutes, to give you a heads up, Luke's therapist, for those of you that don't know, my son Luke gets a massage therapy every morning, and he is going to need my attention for a few minutes when she shows up. That'll probably be about 10 minutes from now. So during that time, I'm going to hand the show to Kate, and she's going to talk about some of her adventures. So look forward to that in about 10 minutes. I do want to welcome you guys and just say thank you for being here with me. Last week we missed, and I missed you guys greatly. It was, family reasons that I had to not be here. But I did miss you, and I'm glad we're here this week. And so, speaking of family or family, the Texas boys, another Texas a Texas family doing YouTube, they will be going live at 10 a.m. Central right after this show. So it would be really cool for some of you if you have time to jump over to that show. And their link will be put up by somebody, Kate or Weetree or whoever has that link. Yeah, it'll be fun. So this morning, I'm getting a lot of comments on some of my videos. I have some very popular videos. They exploded within the last... Hey, Sean Schiffer with a squirrel first thing this morning, $4.05. Thank you for supporting the Daddykirbs farm. With the question, how is Luke? Luke has, he's always sort of up and down. He's a roller coaster. Luke is our roller coaster. But lately he's been having some of his respiratory issues again. But we're dealing with it. He's on, all the routine, the breathing treatments and all those things. I'm not going to go in the full list, but Luke is doing okay with that. But he is on an antibiotic. Oh, by the way, I don't want to go too far in detail, but Luke has a kidney stone. And it's a 7-millimeter kidney stone, and the doctors say that that's passable. I'm probably going too far. Sorry. However, Luke is challenged right now with a couple of things, respiratory and already yelling at Espen. Well, we need something to yell at him for. It's interesting that we lost connection there because our Wi-Fi right now is screaming. It's fast because we do have the fiber internet here at the house. Let me turn this around. There is a router. There's a router in that window and another router in that window. Okay, I actually think that maybe the app is having a hard time because our internet is full signal. And that's weird. So we're going to...
says it might be your old phone.
My old phone? It's not that old. It's actually pretty. All right, so let's try to get this show on the road with all the introductions and fun stuff out of the way. Because, oh, I thought that was Teo. That's the shutters. Never mind. No horse behind me.
Your first question is, how are the bees?
How are the bees? Well, I will answer that question and then go hook Luke up. I say hook him up because I need to spend some time plugging his G-tube. But his therapist just showed up. But let me answer the question, how are the bees? The bees seem to be doing really, really well. The last time I was out there, though, they didn't appreciate me being there. And I think it was because they were all hanging on to the outside of the hive. Maybe conditions were too humid or something not exactly perfect for them. So they didn't like me in there. So I did a quick inspection and then got out of the apiary. And it seems like all 3 hives are doing pretty well. And the noise in the background, if you can hear that, is the neighbor. And they are building a concrete patio and mowing their yard at the same time. So there's a cement truck and a lawnmower. So, all right, I'm going to go take care of Luke. This is the chance where you guys get to hang out with Kate for a few minutes. And she's going to share some of her adventures. Thank you, Kate. I'll be right back.
Okay. Welcome again. It was not planned for. He told me when I got here that he was going to do this. So, last Saturday, not many of you were there, but I did an impromptu live show. First one ever. It went okay. I'm considering doing one on a weekly basis, but I haven't really made up my mind yet. It's going to depend a lot on when I can do it. So, that being said, if y'all have an interest in watching a live show from me, please let me know, because I'll do one if you think you'd like to see one. But if there's not enough interest, I've got other things I'll go do instead. Now, as far as my videos go, I've been doing a lot of canning videos, and for a while they were getting a lot of comments. Now all of a sudden they're not getting comments anymore, and I think it's probably because it's the same thing over and over, and so we'll see. Oh, Dolly, thank you. Sugar-free or low-sugar canning is all I do. Everything that I use, if it has sugar, I use less, so we'll do that. Let's see. Let me try over here. Lisa Johnson. Thank you for subscribing, Lisa. I appreciate it. I was thinking about doing a series on dehydrating. I have a wonderful dehydrator. I use a lot of dehydrated food myself, both for feeding myself and my family and also for feeding the birds, because the guys really like dried food. So that may be something that I'll set up and do too. I'm also doing a lot of sewing. I don't know how many of you watch Rain Tree Homestead, but Heidi has a patchwork skirt that she makes up there, and that's what I tried this last time, and I'm going to see if you can see it. I have it on today. Not much of a picture, but it's a great skirt. It's very comfortable, and I had a lot of fun making it. So I may do some sewing videos too. I don't know. We'll just see what's going on. But yeah, I love her skirts too, Dolly. And my biggest thing is I haven't learned to do the pockets yet. She just put out recently a video on how to put pockets in. And oh, there we go. Somebody, Dolly. Okay, no, I'm not in this one, but I'm going to learn. I've got 3 other people that want skirts, so I'm going to have to get busy and make some skirts, and I'm going to have to learn how to put the pockets in. So thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. Wholesome Roots, you want a skirt too? Okay. Get in touch with me on email, and we'll see what we can do. No, Dolly, it was not hard to make. The hardest part of making it is gathering the bottom tier, because it goes out exponentially. The first tier has 7 squares, the second tier has 14, the one after that has 28, and it just doubles each time, and that's a lot of gathering to do. Heidi does it by hand. I machine gather it and then put it on. So Carl, a Daddykirbs quote. You know, I thought about doing that, and I also thought about the possibility of making a bunch of squares and sending them to people and having them write messages and things on it, then getting them back and embroidering those messages so they last and putting them together into a quilt. I'm not sure that I'll do that because that's a time constraint, but I may. I'll keep you all updated on that idea too. If anybody's interested in doing that, let me know, and I'll try and make some squares and get them going. If nothing else, we can make a throw for the back of their couch or something like that. Thank you, Phyllis. I appreciate that. I was talking right before the show started. Xavier asked how my bees were doing. And I told him the grass is so high I can't get out there to find out. The rain the weeks before this have really made my grass get tall. In some places it's tall enough to come almost to my waist. Not that that's tall because I'm only 5'2", but still it's a lot of grass in the backyard. And my riding lawnmower is dead, so I can't do that, and it's too much for the push mower, so we're going to get the riding mower fixed because there's a jungle out there. I heard monkeys out there last night. Blake's back. I'll let you guys go.
All right. Hey, thanks, Kate, for taking care of that, for being with them for a few minutes while I had to step away. All right. Now, to the part that you've all been waiting for, or dreading, whichever. I have my iPad, and I'm going to go through some of the comments on some of the popular videos. I want to start with the video that now has 467,000 views. It's the hawk rescue video. It's been interesting to watch the comments on that video. It wants to play the video. Hold on. Have you seen it? Daddykirbs farm, sometimes we get some interaction with wild. Stopping the video, looking at comments. I have 1,758 comments on that particular video. Once again, I really don't think that's the network. Maybe I'm fooling myself, but it shouldn't be the network. I think it's my app. I'm gonna have to restart the phone at some point. So, a lot of the comments on this video are admonishing me for not having the tank properly covered or, you know, taken care of for the wildlife, and I totally agree. Let me just lead with that. I totally agree. That rain tank wasn't there for very long prior to this event, and I never intended for it to be a rain tank. It was an empty tank that sat under the eaves and collected rain because we got some good rain, and then this event happened. So everyone who made a comment about that I was wrong, I was an idiot, all those things for not having a ramp or a cover, I totally agree. Not that I'm an idiot, but totally agree that I should have had that covered. So anyway, with that's going to be a lot of the comments that I'm just not... Hey, there's Teo. There he is. Haven't seen Maggie yet. Yeah, and by the way, if you have a disagreement with any YouTuber, this is just my opinion. You can disagree with someone without being mean. Anyone who is especially mean with vulgar comments or profanity on my channel, they just get blocked. And that's unfortunate because I would really not want to block people. I want them to be able to say what they want to say without being mean about it. If you're using profanity, see, my kids read this stuff. If you're using... Okay, we're back. My sincerest apologies. That was absolutely a YouTube app crash on my phone. I got all kinds of messages telling me that my app was not responding, and I don't understand that, but we'll try to recover for today as best we can. I know that a lot of the people have already left. My apologies. So I am going to get into reading some of these comments. Yes, we are back. I was talking to a young man about he does a lot of technical stuff with video, and he was saying that he would help me figure out how to set up a better live with the camera instead of the YouTube app. So maybe someday we can get that done and we won't have these challenges. So anyway, let me get into reading some of these questions. It's, of course, the first one is, I put a ladder inside my tank so anything that might go in, it can get back out. Now, see, that was a very nice way of telling me that I should have had a ladder in my tank. So thank you very much. That was from Thelma Lou. Let's see here. Some of them are kind of funny. See, the Zanzibarbarian said, really, the hawk at the end was warning his mates, don't swim here, lads. I got caught for a midnight dip, was arrested, put in prison all night, and they only let me go when they didn't have any charges against me. Oh, and the food was terrible. I'll say that was funny. Thank you very much for that funny comment, Zanzibarbarian, if I say your name right. The hawk's wife, where have you been all night? Stuck in a water tank? You look dry to me. Some of these I haven't read yet. Let's see. Tamara says, Blake, I spent years working with wild animals, and I am impressed by your problem-solving skills. Thank you very much, Tamara. The cage capture is brilliant. My first thought was getting him warm, but after you explained that you're in hot Texas, the minimal movement and securing him from predators is the very best thing to do. Giving him the frog was the best. Excellent job. Thanks for sharing. Well, thank you very much. So, yes. There were a lot of comments on that video about that I should have taken him inside where it was warm. But what most people don't understand is the water in that tank was probably 90 degrees. The temperature outside, because I think it was July 2nd. And here in Texas, July anything is hot. So even in the middle of the night when I captured that guy, it was probably 95 degrees. Inside my house, it was probably 75 degrees. So taking him inside could have been a death sentence. Leaving him out here where he was in 95-degree temperature and able to be secured from the predators. I did what I could with the materials I had to keep him protected from the possible, the raccoons or whatever that might come in. So, yes, people watching that video probably assume that the water's cold.
Another thing you haven't mentioned is when you rescue a wild animal or a wild bird, they are still wild. And taking a wild creature into your home is not a good idea. It frightens them. It can tear up your house depending on the size of the animal. If you get a bird loose in your house that's wild,
that'd be a mess.
Yeah, not only do they poop everywhere, all birds do that, but they would, in your house, you got 2 stories. You'd have to be on both stories at the same time to try and recapture them.
Yeah.
So bringing an animal, wild animal or bird into your house is not a wise idea. Keeping it outside in the wild and protecting it so that it can dry off and regain itself is the best move.
Good point, Kate. That's why I have her here. Yeah.
And I'm a bird person, so I can speak to taking care of birds.
That's right. Yeah, the conditions around rescuing that hawk were unique to me because I didn't know it was going to happen. I never had that happen before. The hawk was in the tank being very quiet when I walked past the tank with a flashlight for another reason, and just saw the bird floating. He wasn't drowning at that point. He was floating. He had his wings spread out, and he was doing very well keeping afloat. And so we got him out of the tank the best we could and kept him in the warmest environment at that moment, which was outside. All right, let's see what else we have. Let's see. Miss Delgado says, great rescue. He wasn't afraid of you. Probably watches you around the farm every day. I think he's Wiccans.
Oh, and Dolly brought up a good point, too, that there are diseases that the wild hawk has that could transfer to the chickens.
That's possible. Or if I brought it in the house, who knows what, I have a son that has a reduced immune system. That would not have been a good thing.
Right.
Let's see. That's so sweet. I love people who are kind to animals. I do too. That's why I love my wife. One of the many, many reasons.
Yes. More than he can count on both hands.
That's right. Let's see. I missed one here. Good job. I saved a blackbird from our backyard koi pond by scooping him out with a fish landing net and put him in the sun to dry. It took him about an hour to dry out, and after 30 minutes to summon the courage to fly. He came back to our yard on a daily basis after that and always called to me when I was in the yard or came out of the back door. No one believed that he was talking to me, but that's okay. Gives you a real sense of satisfaction, doesn't it? That was Karen Holly. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Now, I've never had an animal come back and thank me or talk to me, but the comments, I say comments, the noises that the hawk made at the end of the video, I took as a thank you. All right. So, Jacqueline Dempsey says, kind soul of a man to take into account how the bird may feel. Well, thank you. Bob H. says, I live in a city, so animal rescue opportunities don't come up very often, but one time at work I came upon a seagull trapped in a construction debris and managed to free it. Good for you, Bob. To see a suffering, doomed animal suddenly leap into the air healthy and free is one of the nicest feelings I've ever experienced. I never felt so useful. That is a really cool experience to be able to say that you participated in helping a wild animal wild animals often get caught up in our human mess, and being able to help them through that is a very, very good experience. And then a lot of people on the video also wanted to, not want to say argue, but weigh in on whether they felt like it was a juvenile or an adult. To be honest with you, I don't know enough about hawks to know how old it was. Now, I am pretty convinced that it was a red-shouldered hawk because of just looking things up on the internet. But I have no idea how old it was. The Farm Animal Friend says, great video. Animals are a part of our family, even predators. We have to take care of each other. I agree. I have mostly respected animals here on the farm, even predators, with the rare exception. I don't take pride in it, but one time I did eliminate one predator, and that was a raccoon, and I didn't feel good about it, but it was one of those decisions. Let's see. If this ever happens to anyone, please put a blanket over the cage for warmth and deter predators from bothering them overnight. Offer them some food as well, like ground beef or fish. See, another thing people here in the comments don't realize, we don't have any meat in our house. Right. So that frog that the hawk got from the tank was about the best meal that I could have gave him at that point. Let's see, or a small snail or worm, etc. Yeah, I wasn't going to go dig worms up.
Not at that time of night.
Not at that time of night. Let's see. He would have been very exhausted, weak, and hungry, and of course, a bowl of water. You know, I didn't even think about putting water in with him in the cage.
You wouldn't need a bowl of water. He had enough water in his feathers, and he was going to be preening to dry himself. He wouldn't be thirsty.
Well, I'm glad you made that point. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
He was pretty wet when I put him in the cage, and he just came out of water, so I wasn't thinking about giving him more water.
No, he would not have needed more water. When birds are wet and they're trying to get dry, they actually take each individual feather and strip the water out of the feathers with their beaks and tongues. And so most of the time they drink it, not always, but most of the time they drink that water if it's clean. And that's how they dry their feathers. So he's ingesting a lot of water, just preening and getting his feathers dry again.
I didn't know that. Well, I don't know if you noticed in that video when the hawk took off, he gave a little squirt. So he had stuff in his system. He was not dehydrated.
He probably swallowed a lot of water while he was swimming around in there too.
Probably, yes. Let's see. Quality of Life says, you may not be experts, but whatever you did was good because the bird flew away okay. Lucky that you found him before he drowned. You guys are great people. Well, I think we're all great people. Thank you very much for that nice comment. Let's see. May I suggest a wooden or metal plank leaning on the inside of the tank so that any stuck animal can climb out. Yes, you may suggest that, and yes, that's a great idea, but I didn't do that. And in the future, if I do have an open water tank, I will do that, or something to that effect. But that tank right now, if you follow along with the Daddykirbs journey, you probably have seen that that tank is now a box turtle enclosure, and it is covered and full of soil with some box turtles in it. So it is not a threat to hawks or birds or any animal anymore.
Except the freedom of the box turtle.
Except the freedom of the box. All right. Let's see.
You've had another question right before you took off with to go do Luke.
Okay.
Dolly wants to know if we're going to have the drawing on the green stalk anytime soon.
You know, let me go ahead and talk about the green stalk garden. I was talking with the company Greenstock, and I really do want to give away the Greenstock, but they would like for me to do that giveaway on a bigger scale, not just in a live show. And they want me to produce it in such a way that it's more of a marketing thing, and it makes sense because they're going to give away a $150 prize, and they're going to ship it, so it's going to cost them probably $200 to do this, and they want a little more exposure than just the live show, and I don't blame them. So I'm going to put a I heard the neighbors I hope they're okay over there. I'm going to put a video together at some point. Life is starting to normalize here, hopefully, and if we can get things settled down and I can get in the garden, I plan on, this is where I distract myself. I plan on getting in the garden today because I want to do a video about collecting chaya and how to process that into a powder. Because I don't know if you know this, but chaya, the leaves of chaya, help reduce or eliminate kidney stones. And Luke now has it. Last year when Luke had a kidney stone, it was a smaller one. But we gave him chaya, and when we went back to the doctor, the kidney stone was gone. Now it is possible, I understand, that it just passed and the chaya had nothing to do with it. But I like to believe that we did the right thing by giving him that, and we're going to do that again. We have a lot of chaya leaves in the garden that we need to process. So
I have two if you want them.
Awesome. Well, we have enough. So maybe after this you can process it and add it to your cooking or whatever. So yes, that video hopefully is coming soon. And I totally lost my thought. So is there a lag on the sound versus my lip movement?
Right.
Just imagine, Tim, that I know Kung Fu, and it's a Kung Fu movie. Oh wait, that was probably...
We have another squirrel.
Oh, another squirrel. Kilted Gardener. With the $9.99, take yourself and Luke out for a little father-son time. Thank you. That would be very nice. I got a gift last night as well from my mother. Excuse me. And so I will have the resources to take my family out and enjoy some time together. So thank you very much for being a part of that. I really do appreciate you guys being friends and supporters. And it's really cool to see the participation of the family members, those of you who are in the family group, coming in and joining the live shows. So thank you for being really a close, what's the words? Thank you for being in the core group of followers for the Daddykirbs Farm, helping to encourage and support what goes on here. I truly do appreciate that.
Carl said you were talking about the green stalk when you got interrupted.
Oh.
You were saying that they want you to do more of a promotional kind of thing in a larger venue.
Yes. So in order to do a green stalk video, I need to get into the garden, get the green stalk cleaned up, and do a production about the benefits of the green stalk again, and then promote the contest so that there will be a few more eyes. I love the live show group, but normally if we hit 50 people in the show, that's a good live show. So that's really not a very good audience for a giveaway from Greenstock as far as size. You guys are a great audience, but number of people. So we will be doing that. I just need to get my act together and get that done. And speaking of getting my act together, if you are a patron, have you been enjoying the videos that I've been putting out? My goal, my hope, with no promises right now, but is that I can do a 5-minute or so, a couple minutes, say promotion, an update, a short update every day, exclusive to, yeah, thank you, Trish, exclusive to Patreon, because Patreon members, Carl, what is Patreon? Come on, brother. Patreon is a site that is connected to my YouTube account that allows, well, it's actually not connected to the account. I post my content to Patreon. It's patreon.com/daddykirbs. And it gives people a platform to support what I do here. I have some people that contribute $1 a month, all the way up to one person who gives me $75 a month. She's crazy, but I love her. She knows she's crazy, and she knows I love her. So any dollar amount that you want to support the farm with, what that does is it gives me a little bit of money reserve every month to help provide equipment for the show, because I keep my cell phone up to date for this and for recording video. I buy tripods and microphones, and recently I purchased a GoPro. You haven't seen that yet, but I just got that within the last week, and that was purchased with Patreon money, patrons. And so what I have been really, really bad lately at giving my patrons something
exclusive,
something exclusive, something that they feel like they're getting something for their money. And a lot of that has just been because I haven't, there's a lot of excuses. I haven't felt like I know what to do. I haven't felt like I could do because my internet was so bad. Life happening, all those reasons. But I'm trying to get over those excuses and reasons and give some content to my patrons. So for the last week or so, I think I've done maybe 6 exclusive videos, and they are of what's going on here on the farm, formatted a one-shot take. So it's me, my cell phone, and I'm just showing what's going on. And I upload that to Patreon, exclusive for the patrons, so that they are getting something special. Yeah, anyway, those of you who are watching those, thank you for the comments, and thank you so much for the support. It is so fun to have a group of people that have enough confidence and faith in what I'm doing that they want to support me financially. So thank you. I don't want to go on and on about that, but I truly do appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Let's go back to some more comments. Let's switch over to comments on another video. That was enough hawk rescue comments for now. We're in 40 minutes. Another reminder after this show. Whoa, the sun's coming out.
Sunshine.
Go check out the Texas Boys at 10 a.m. They're doing their live show. So support another Texas family of YouTubers.
Oh, before you go to that, very quickly, I ordered coffee from our Clean Living, Clean Food. I forget what the name of the company is. I'm sorry. But I ordered coffee from them. It should be here next week, and I'm really excited.
So, hey, Wheatree, can you put up the link to the I think it's cleanfoods.net, the dried foods? They've been really kind to me and offered me several things to sample. And now Kate has ordered their coffee, and she's excited to get that. And I want to make sure that their link gets up here so that people can check them out. By the way, if you do purchase anything with the link that Wheatree Bonsai puts up, Use the coupon code, simplycleanfoods.net.
Thank you.
Use the password or coupon code Daddykirbs, and you will get a discount and a great product. So thank you very much for that. Thanks for bringing that up, Kate.
And the people that work there are super helpful and really, really nice.
Yeah, they have been very kind to me. She spoke with someone different, but both people that we've interacted with have been super kind. All right, let's go on to the honey harvest spinning out gallons of honey video. That's been a super duper popular, I don't like saying the word super too often, but I just did like 3 times. It's been a very popular video. It now has, how many video? 1.2 million views. Wow. That's crazy. You know, it reminds me, I've said this before, but it reminds me back when I started my YouTube venture. Hey, Trish, with the squirrel. How did the orchard fare after Teo had his snack? See, Trish is one of my patrons, and she is referring to in one of the exclusive videos. I came home, I showed what it looks like for me to come home from work. And I pulled up to my gate, and I wasn't driving with my phone. I did it all after I came to my gate. Just letting you know, I do care about safety, mostly. I held my phone up, and you could see Teo munching on one of my trees in the orchard. So she was able to see what it looks like for me to come into my farm and catch the horses being a little bit naughty. Thank you very much for being a friend and supporter. And I see another squirrel. Ronald is a very consistent supporter, friend, super chatter here on the live shows. He says, I overslept this morning, so he came in late. That's okay. We still love you, Ronald.
Excuses.
I'll let Kate give you a hard time. I'll forgive you. Thank you so much. You guys really are an amazing, supportive, encouraging group of people. If you are a creator on YouTube or anywhere, if you're an artist, you know that it's difficult to, if you're doing it for an audience. If you're doing art for yourself, then great, because that's fantastic and it's for you. But if you're doing it for an audience, it is sometimes very discouraging as an artist, as a creator, because, you know, things happen and you feel like you're not good enough, you're not producing enough, you're not doing it in the right format or whatever. There's a lot of reasons to start feeling like a little insecure about what you're doing. And you guys are very... I almost said super again. You guys are really supportive to me, and it helps me as a creator. It truly does. So, Kate is starting her adventure as being a creator, and hopefully at this point, everything still feels really good, but there will be times when it gets discouraging.
We were talking about that right before the show started. When I first put out my first few videos, I got a lot of comments, I got a lot of feedback. The last 2, I've received no feedback.
Yeah, so that lack of feedback can feel like people don't care. It's not true. I would say generally it's not true, but it can feel like that as a creator. So all of your creators, your favorite creators, Kate, myself, any of your other YouTube creator friends that you like to support, give them some comments. Let them know that you're still there and you still care, and it will truly help them feel like what they're doing is still worth doing. All right, let's read some other comments. Speaking of comments, let's read some other comments. Spinning out 4 gallons of honey. Wait, where's the comments? 1,347 comments on this video. And probably 1,000 of them are, it's so satisfying. Just one of those things I don't really get. But, you know, if people like being satisfied from my video, good for them. Okay, so Tori Peebs says, I want to cut that wax off so bad. It looks so satisfying. Kiwi says, your son eating the honey warms my heart. Thank you very much, Kiwi. I got some very nasty comments about Luke in that video. And I think that's very unfortunate that there's so many people that are willing to not only think those nasty thoughts, but willing to type those nasty thoughts. But you know what? They can't comment on my channel anymore. So bye-bye, nasty thought people. Let's see. After randomly watching bee vids without any previous interest in bees, I think I want to be a bee farmer. Yay! You know, there's a 2 years ago, where actually Kate and I, you've told me this 1,000 times, but did we meet at Farm Day? No, we met before Farm Day. Our relationship became more solid during Farm Day and after.
Yes.
Farm Day in 2016, I really wish I would have had one every year, 2017, 2018. That would have been this month, actually, October.
Yes.
But I was talking with my son, who recently moved back to Texas, and he said that he was chatting with one of his buddies, and his friend went to a farmer's market and was talking with, I should have worn my hat this morning.
Yeah.
His friend was at a farmer's market and started, that sun is intense, started talking to one of the vendors at the farmer's market. And the vendor was telling my son's friend, who knew he had he didn't know he had any connection to me, started telling him that one of the reasons he is now at farmers markets is because he was motivated by coming to this guy's farm day, Daddykirbs. So my son's friend was like, oh, hey, I know that guy. He's my friend's dad. And so they shared pictures and stories. And the point to that is, and to this last comment, if someone can watch my content or visit my farm or listen to my story in any way and be encouraged and motivated to do something positive in their life, that gives me all the motivation I need to keep going. It is it's just so inspirational to me to know that I am helping to inspire other people. I am so fully, completely aware that I am an imperfect person with imperfect methods, an imperfect farm, imperfect conditions of my animals and my production and whatever. I'm so aware of that. But the fact that I can use my imperfect story to connect with people is just overwhelming to me. And my brother comes in with an encouraging comment. You have inspired me my whole life. Thank you, my brother Carl. You too have been an inspiration to me. I praise God that you are my brother. All right. Yeah, pretty sure they did mean hi, guys. I hope.
Kindergarten says, preach, brother.
Preach, yeah. I'm not a preacher. Carl is. All right, see.
Oh, yes, you are. You just don't have the license.
Yeah. Okay, so Melody Capehart Medina says, oh my goodness, that was so fun to watch. You must be excited to get all that honey and know where it came from. I am. And thanks so much for sharing. Well, thank you, Melody, for commenting. And Hare, it's a nice name, says, who is here from Crazy Russian Hacker? So Crazy Russian Hacker is another YouTuber that has a lot of subscribers. And he did beekeeping for a while. And apparently some of my videos were suggested from his videos. So that was probably one of the reasons I got so many views on this video. I think Crazy Russian Hacker guy, he's pretty funny. I like watching him. This person, No Rain, No Flowers, said the awkward teenager that just walked in, armed with a spoon, shyly ate, then left. That's my son.
So that must have been Luke.
That was Luke. It wasn't really shy, though. It's Luke has some awkward movements that don't look normal. But that's one of the reasons we love him.
And I tell people all the time, normal is just a setting on your clothes washer.
That's a good
It's nothing to do with real life.
That's right. I like that one, Kate.
Thank you.
Let's see. E. Cahill says, so interesting. I know nothing about how honey is made. It looks delicious. Loved learning about the wax and how it is used. Thank you. Midgety says, sees him touch honey with bare hands without care. Me, scream when a little honey touches me. Well, you wouldn't want to be a beekeeper then, because it's a messy business. I think we're going to be in the sun now.
I think you're right. I'm glad I've got my hat.
I should have wore my hat, but I looked for it this morning, couldn't find it. I need a new hat. Mine's getting pretty dirty. All right. I also need to view this from an angle. Okay. Alexander Hamiltrash. I started laughing when the boy just went in to taste the honey and was so quiet. Well, I'm glad you found that funny. All right. Who was that autistic kid that came in halfway through the video and just didn't say anything, walked up with a spoon? LOL. Well, you're close. He's not exactly autistic. He happens to have a genetic mutation called FOXG1 that looks a lot like autism. Most of his life, he did have a diagnosis of autism, but that's before we discovered his genetic condition, genetic mutation.
Ron Woodruff says he'll sell you a Daddykirbs hat.
Oh, you have one? I'll buy it. Not really. I don't want to commit to anything.
All right. If they don't say that, he'll pack it up and get it ready for you.
I know he will. Let's see. But Savannah Warren says your son is very handsome. See that? That was a nice comment. And he is very handsome. He's a good-looking kid. Kat says the guy with the spoon. See, a lot of comments about Luke. The guy with the spoon is 100% me. But oh my goodness, I can just imagine how good that kitchen smells. It does smell pretty good when you're processing honey. It smells a lot like honey. Good looking honey, very nice. Oh my goodness, that was fun to watch. You must be I already read that one. I must have lost my place there. Your son must like honey. Aw, his son is so cute. See, those are nice comments. Thank you. I have watched multiple videos regarding honey extraction and wax preparation, and by far yours was the most simplest and precise. You made it seem so unbelievable easy, and yet you explained in complete detail what you did and why you did it. Thank you. I mean that. Thank you for making this video. Thank you for making that comment. And thank you, son, for making it almost impossible for me to see my iPad or phone. All right. And there's another funny part of that video is that I apparently use the word this a lot. And so there's people making comments like this. Like this. Guess how much times he says this. I'm pretty sure he means many times. Guess how many times he says this. You need to watch that video again and again and count how many times I say this. Let's see. Sir, your son is the coolest guy I've ever seen. It doesn't matter about the FOXG1. See, they got the memo. If that's what it's called. Also, you're one of the best dads ever. You need a reward. Wow, that's pretty cool. For best beef farming and best dad reward. Sorry if I've been talking too much. No, it's not too much. You're doing fine. It's just that people are being rude, saying your son is weird. So yeah, I've talked too long. So goodbye. They actually typed out the word and that's cute. Thank you very much for that kind comment. Luke is so lucky to have all those delicious honey. Look fun. Interesting to see a hand crank honey extractor. I always seen a electric wooden video, or I'm trying to read it just as it's typed, and I don't want to mess it up. Or heavy duty, all copper. This was when it was showing on PBS TV networks. How much does a pint of honey cost? Well, that's an interesting question. 1 pint of honey here on the Daddykirbs farm is $16. Now, I only sell locally, so if you are interested in buying honey, you'd have to contact me and we would arrange a local pickup. It's based on $12 per pound, and I do have pound jars as well for $12, and the pints are $16. And Shati Rena says, you got yourself a new subscriber. I love watching videos like this. It's relaxing. Well, good. Are there different kinds of honey? This is Kelly Long. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing. There are different, well, it's all honey, but there's different flavors based on what the bees are collecting. The honey, the nectar and pollen from the different sources, whether it be trees or wildflowers or whatever, that's what determines the flavor of the honey. So if you mean different kinds of honey by flavor, then yes. And there are some wonderful different flavors. Those that come from citrus farms where there's lots of orange or, things like that. That makes really, really good honey in my opinion. But there's something very interesting and unique about this area. Our combination of wildflowers and trees just makes a really nice flavored honey. And a lot of people comment that our honey is the best honey they've ever had. And I'm going to have to agree.
Also, honey, depending on the time of year it is harvested, can be much richer and darker in color.
Yep.
Which is usually the winter honey, because they're in the spring and summer they're out gathering and bringing stuff back. And they bring a lot more water back with them, so that honey is lighter.
That's right. Lighter in the spring, typically. Not always, but typically lighter in the spring, and a more syrupy flavor in the spring. Hey, beautiful. That's my wife. She just showed up. I call her beautiful because I think she's beautiful.
So do I, and she's not my wife.
And then the darker honey, I really enjoy the dark honey collected first in the spring after the winter, because it's the winter honey that I take off, and it's really thick and really dark. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it has had a lot of time in the hive and it's evaporated a lot of moisture, and they keep packing it with just goodness, bee goodness. And yeah, so that's good honey. I really do love that. And sometimes the honey crystallizes more readily than other, some crystallize faster than others. And I've had some batches of honey that never crystallized, and I've had other batches of honey that as soon as I get it into the jars, it starts crystallizing, turning to sugar. But either way, it's good. And I just saw Ronald. Oh, my niece is talking, so hello, good to see you. Love you guys. And then Ronald says dark honey makes good mead, which is an alcohol beverage made from honey. I've only tasted it one time. It was pretty good. It tastes like alcohol honey.
Alcoholic honey.
That's right. All right. It is now, we are 40 seconds away from the 1 hour mark, and I am going to get off here, but it has been a lot of fun. My apologies for the technical difficulties earlier. We are someday, no promise on timing, going to come up with a better solution for the live show compared to doing it all on my phone. But do look forward to the videos coming up about the teardown of the barn, the old Maggie's place. That barn is now gone. If you are a patron, you've already seen that because I put up videos showing that progress. I have to edit a full video. Also, the video coming up real soon about the harvesting the chaya and making powder out of that for kidney stones to help eliminate or reduce the possibility of kidney stones. So, yeah, good times. Go check out Texas Boys. They're probably starting right now. Follow on over there. Give them a thumbs up and a encouraging comment. Thank you, Weetree, for the Patreon link. Somebody asked for that link earlier. Thank you for putting that up. It would be really nice to be able to show more people more exclusive content on Patreon. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. Hey, I truly do love you. Love you too, Brother Carl. Brother Carl. Hey, brothers in Christ and brothers in real life. Love you guys very much. We're out. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.
Bye.